All right, so without further ado, please give it up for Rachel Yoder with Draft Journal.
Thanks, everyone. So I am Rachel Yoder. I'm a founding editor of Draft Journal, and I'm just going to start out by telling you a little story because I'm a writer, and that's what we feature in Draft Journal. So imagine a dingy apartment in Tucson, Arizona, two 20-something grad students sitting in it, lamenting the fact that their MFA in creative writing is almost done, feeling sad that they're not going to get to sit around with their friends and talk about stories and see a story through from the first draft to the final revision. I'm sitting there with my friend Mark. He's probably smoking a cigarette, and he says, "Rach, I have this great idea." He wanted to open an idea store, by the way. That was his first really good idea, and sell ideas. But his second good idea was, I have this great idea. It's called Draft, and we contact the writers whose stories we love, and we ask them for a first draft of their story, and then we publish it along with the story we love, and we interview them. And I say, that's an amazing idea. No one does that. Not one literary journal in the United States does that. And so it started out as this idea because we were just writing nerds, and we loved stories, and we wanted to see how they came to fruition. We were also teachers, though, and we were taught as teachers that revision is the most important aspect of creative writing, and yet there were no tools to teach revision. When you got a textbook, you just read finished, perfect stories. So we also thought that this would be an amazing tool to help us teach revision in the classroom. So what exactly is Draft? In Draft, we publish first and final drafts of short stories, essays, and poems, along with author interviews about the creative process. Since 2010, we've published 6 issues, so we're an annual. We've featured 16 authors and sold nearly 1,600 copies. In addition to our print journal, we are also about to launch ebooks. So we've only been in print, but we're going to be available on Amazon, and we will also sell ebooks through our website of all of our issues. We also have a blog, which is really a resource for teachers and students and writers. We accept submissions to the blog, and we feature writing exercises, essays about writing, anything having to do with the creative process. So that's a way to kind of pull more people into our community. And then it's very exciting. Next week, we're launching a podcast in collaboration with the Iowa Writers House and Andrea Wilson. It's called the Failsafe, and it's an interview podcast where I talk with writers about writing and failure. And our first interviewee was Garth Greenwell, who's had an amazing book this year. So this is sort of the overview of the draft empire, as it were. So what makes Draft unique in addition to our concept? As I said, there are about 740 literary print journals in the United States. We are the only one who publishes first drafts along with final drafts. We also have a really unique layout, and we put a lot of thought into our layout and how we could present this in a way that would be most beneficial to be used in the classroom, used by teachers, used by students. So we actually publish, as you'll see, Sarah's passing some copies around. We publish the draft on the left page and then the corresponding final draft on the right page, so you can actually kind of read them side by side and track how they've been revised. We also have really wide margins in our journal, so we can put editorial notes in, things for students to kind of look out for, and students can also use those margins to take notes in the classroom. We also cross-reference the drafts, both of the stories and poems and essays, with our author interviews. So if we ask the author a question about a particular point in the story, that'll be cross-referenced, and you'll see, go to page 65 to see more about this part in the story. So we've really been thinking about how we can make this something that's, again, really useful in the classroom, as well as just really interesting for people who are writers or who are interested in literature. So there's a lot of text up here, but I'm just going to let you can read that as you like, and I'll just hit on a few key points. So we aren't entrepreneurs, we're just writers who had a cool idea and kind of wanted to see if we could make this idea go. And now we're in year 6 and we have all these issues and we've made it go. It's a labor of love. We don't make any money. Our revenue from sales almost covers our expenses, so we're always losing a little bit of money. We don't really market. We haven't really marketed. The main way we market is there's this huge conference every year called the AWP conference, the Association of Writers and Writing Programs. There's anywhere from 10 to 15,000 writers, teachers, students, editors, publishers, small publishers there. So when we go to AWP, there's a huge book fair. There's about 800 tables in a huge conference center of small presses and lit journals, and we're the only table in that room that does what we do. So when people find us, the one thing people mostly say when we tell them what we do, they say, "That's such a cool idea. I didn't know you existed." So with that kind of that word of mouth marketing, we have been used in 40 colleges so far. Teachers have ordered us for their classrooms, and that's really where we kind of want to be. We get our biggest kind of bulk orders from teachers to be used in classrooms. And mainly, I was really looking forward to the Q&A here because, like I said, we kind of have this infrastructure. We have these issues, we have a small following, we have some history, but we're not entrepreneurs and we don't know how to make the machine go now. We're like, how do we make money now? Now we're not grad students anymore, we're like married and we have real lives, and we want to make it go. So another aspect of Draft is that this last year we just became part of the James Gang, which is a local community building organization that helps nonprofits start up by providing them this umbrella 501c3 status, so you don't have to go and get your own nonprofit status. So we joined the James Gang. We now have nonprofit status, which means we can fundraise. But we're wondering, is that the best place to put our energies right now, given what grantors are looking for, given that we don't have a huge fundraising base. We're also wondering just where is the best place to kind of put our energy and our money right now and our resources. Is it marketing, and what sort of marketing, and just kind of what we should do next. So yeah, I'm interested in the Q&A, and I'll just open it up to questions, and thanks for your time.